So very glad to have you back with us on the sunny side of morning television. Right. Good morning again to you. Now, listen, in the face of hardship, one thing Jamaicans do best is come together. One such example is the Rastafari community who, following the impact of Hurricane Melissa, launched the Rastafari Relief, Rebuild and Rise initiative. Joining us to share more are the Communication and Public Relations Officer of Rastafari Mansions and Organizations, Dr. Kerida MacDonald. And joining us via Zoom, artiste, cultural icon, and no stranger to Sunrise, Gramps Morgan of Morgan Heritage is kind of in the building. Can't say in the building, but kind of in the building. So good morning and welcome to you both.
Good morning. Good morning.
Every time I see Gramps, I just want to say rockers.
As you should.
I just gotta say rockers. You know, I can't do it as well as the Grammy Award-winning artist, but you know. Everybody knows I love Gramps in real life. Such a wonderful human being, a wonderful and talented artist. And, you know, my brother, you know, like, just love you guys. Big ups to Yuna and the entire Morgan Heritage family. And I love this initiative because the Rastafari community, they too have been affected. But let's start with the lady of the moment, Dr. MacDonald. Talk to us a little bit about, you know, we've seen how Hurricane Melissa has ravaged, you know, the western part of Jamaica. And oftentimes, you know, we see people, but the Rastafari community is embedded in those communities. Talk to me about the impact that it has had on them so far.
Give thanks. Good morning to you both. Yes, I mean, for the whole of Jamaica, it is a challenging time. I think unprecedented in terms of what ones have to deal with. I think for the Rastafari community that has, over the years, chosen to live in remote areas, you know, far from Babylon and, you know, any harassment. So that in itself creates a difficulty to reach for support. You know, and then, of course, mainstream aid, you know, there's food for the poor, central kitchens. But the food items, as you can imagine, the Rastafari community has specific dietary practices, cultural practices. You probably now go find a Rastafari really going to a temporary shelter, you know, run by the, you know, the authorities. So, so those are some of the challenges. We've found, we're doing a mapping exercise now, and we're finding that the data is showing us that there are many elderly that are living alone. So that is another big challenge with the response and the support to the families.
And, you know, it's so funny. We oftentimes take these things for granted, and then because you're not so aware necessarily, or you just, you know, you're taking food relief items, and you don't even remember, oh, the Rastafarian would not be eating tin mackerel or wouldn't be eating anything, you know, and he never even thought about that. So that is something about which we should take into consideration.
But on that note, I mean, Rastafari has been used to, you know, it has tended to be a marginalized group, and so therefore is well rehearsed in self-reliance. And it's important, you know, that the community itself is leading the initiative because it is aware of the levity of the needs, of the sensitivities. So it is what it should be done. But now this is a call for the international and local support specifically to address those specific needs.
Well, Dr. MacDonald, tell us about Rastafari Mansions and what is it? Organizations and its mission. What exactly is the plan?
Well, in terms of the relief or just overall? Well, I mean, the organization was begun, it's fairly new, so ones may not know of it as yet. It's about 3 years old. There have been many efforts to centralize and organize Rastafari organizations. And I would say this is a historically important one in that there's a signed constitution amongst 14 local organizations. So that, I think, demonstrates the seriousness of having a structure that can be for development purposes, humanitarian purposes, and being able to deliver at scale, you know, because this is definitely what is needed here. So in terms of this initiative, it's Relief, Rebuild and Rise. So it's a long-term vision. Having worked in the UN, one thing that you know within humanitarian crisis is that it's an opportunity. It's an unprecedented opportunity to gather resources that wouldn't normally be accessible and to use those wisely for a longer term betterment and for stronger infrastructures, stronger partnerships. And so we're actually, you know, looking at this as an opportunity for the Rastafari community to deliver and implement some of the, you know, the visions and activities that have been slow to really emerge. You know?
All right, let's get Gramps in on the conversation. Gramps Morgan, talk to me about your role in this partnership and in terms of raising awareness and raising funds to help the Rastafari community of which you're a part and for whom you've been a strong advocate.
Well, for many years, you know, the Rastaman has always sent out this message. Good morning once again. Good morning, Dr. McDonald. Good to see you. It's a pleasure to know that we can use our voice to, you know, you hear me saying a song to lend the voice for those who cannot speak. And you know, the Rastaman for many years, like Dr. McDonald said, has been in these rural areas. We're not kind of to step out, you know, me the pan tour, you know, Buju, Taros, as Rastafarians, we know that is our faith. But a lot of them, you know, don't grow food for just, you know, what would you say, for commercial sales. It's for them livity. So how do they get food? Them not eat tin mackerel, them not eat bully beef and certain things that may be donated. So we as a community, I think it's incredible that we come together as mansions, and it's so here to hear Dr. McDonald speak about all the different mansions coming together for this particular purpose, to take care of ourselves, the same way other communities take care of themselves, and to know that we have the son of Bob Marley, the son of Denry Mark, and the son of the lineage of His Imperial Majesty, the lineage of Marcus Garvey. I think it's an incredible effort to show what we can do when we come together.
Absolutely wonderful. So in terms of what is it that you're going to be doing, Gramps, and how can persons, even people who may not be Rastafari, but rate and respect Rasta same way and want to be a part of the, you know, rising, the rebuilding of the community. Talk to me about the event or events that you're going to have, of which we can be a part, and how Rastafarians, even listening to this morning, who may be in a position to help and want to contribute, how can they do so?
Well, February 1st, we are doing a Webathon. I'm sure the information will be broadcast on Sunrise TV, and Dr. McDonald can tell you more. But on February 1st, from 11 to 3 p.m., I believe it is Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be raising funds. So everybody, it's called the Global Fundraising Webathon, Relief, Rebuild, and Let's Rise, man. And it's February 1st, 2026. That's, I think, 2 days away from now, if I'm not saying it right. But we're looking for everybody to come online, look for things on social media, look on my social media page. And of course, we're looking for everybody to come and donate, even if it's $1. If you love Rasta, you love Rasta, you love the culture, you love the food, you love the music, come together and just do what you can do for Rastafari.
Absolutely.
And if I can just add to what Gramps has mentioned, we are excited to announce that the Bob Marley Museum will be hosting what we're calling a Webathon Watch Groundation.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be on the same day, and ones will be able to gather and witness history collectively.
Yes.
You know, this is 32 organizations, so it's not just the RMO. This is 32 organizations globally, Rastafari organizations who have, you know, come together to really make this thing work. We have a whole Rastafari media network. So ones like RasTafari TV, Rastafari Jams, Lion's Voice, I Never Knew TV. So we have a lot of media.
Yes, I like that one. I Never Knew TV. Very informative, very, very educational. So Doc, so talk to me about this Webathon again. So it's the Sunday the 1st. That's this Sunday, February 1.
Yes.
From 11 a.m. to 10:30 to 4 on the flyer it says. So how do we participate? Where can we watch it like?
So go to Rhythm, which is RDDM.
Okay.
It's a platform, and you just Google it. You can get on there. If for any reason you cannot make it on that day, Sunday, February 1st, you can actually go to the RMO Jamaica IG page, Instagram page, and in the profile there's a GoFundMe, and that will be up and running for as long as, you know, your money lasts.
All right. right.
Like it.
I like it.
Like
Exactly.
Love it.
And we like to see when, direct work is being done for groups. And we really appreciate what you're doing, not just for this community, but wider communities, and have been doing.
Yes, and which is, I think, an important point, is that ones always say, so why Rasta alone? Well, we've explained some of it, but also remember, say, Rastafari is really about, Black man redemption, is the whole community. If you look at even the Ganja Association, it's a Rastafari grassroots ganja, so it's not just the Rastafari community. Has always been a custodian of the community, has always been a trusted partner. So when the centers that we are asking for the support of $500K US, that's
the
that is a target.
Okay, 500,000. Okay.
There are 5 centers in the western end that has been in the hardest hit areas, and these are the ones that will be rebuilt, not with zinc, but with disaster-resistant material, and really looking to develop like income-generating activities, farming, ital food. Yes. So we even think that there will be centers as community-based organizations to deliver relief and recovery for the wider community. Yes. This is not for, I and I alone, as I say.
Nice. Thank you so much, Dr. McDonald, for all that you do. And Gramps Morgan, thank you for your involvement as well. And you can find out more information on their Instagram pages. And please, if you can give generously, because of course, Rastafari put Jamaica up on the map too. You understand what I deal with? The same somebody. Yeah. You understand? Don't go like walk around the other and go around the thing. The truth is just the truth. So let's organize, centralize, come as one.
Yes.
Okay, so that was Dr. Kerida McDonald, Communication and Public Relations Officer of Rastafari Mansions and Organizations, and the Grammy Award-winning Gramps Roy Morgan from Morgan Heritage, representing for the Rastafari Relief, Rebuild and Rise Initiative. It's time for another break, but there is much more right here on Sunrise. Ja! Rastafari!